Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. In this video, I'm going to talk about a topic that is actually very important, very in depth as well. It's how to get past the gatekeeper. So I'm going to share my thoughts, and you can watch a lot of videos on this topic. You can read a lot of articles. Everyone will have a different opinion. So the number one thing that's probably floating about if you just stick it into Google is, just be assertive and you'll get put through. Act like you're a boss. Use your surname. It's Mr. X calling from blah. So the number one reason gatekeepers won't put you through is because they probably get a lot of calls, and their job is solely to protect the chief exec, C-level, or whoever you're trying to reach from actually reaching you, or you reaching them, sorry. So there are a few things, and I'm going to make this specific to recruitment, but you can obviously use it cross-sector, so if you're selling any product. Now, what I'm going to touch on is the objections you're going to handle here, the most common objections, how I handle them, and the results I typically get from that. Statistically, if you make 100 calls and you speak to 14 decision makers, that's usually a good number. You often get something from that. So I'm going to tell you how I deal with it. And just to be clear, there is no magic word, magic system, magic phrase you can say that you automatically get put through. It depends on the organization. It depends on your tone of voice, which is a totally different topic. But I'm just going to cover the bare basics in this. So the first thing to do is you must use a script. Every single call, 99% of them will go the same way. And the biggest issue is I probably trust that if you get put through to the right person, you'll know what to say. However, most of your calls will be dealing with gatekeepers actually, if you're making a high volume of calls. So that's actually the part where you have to practice and have to, build a script on. Most people just build a script for the decision maker. So typically, often or not, when I call selling recruitment services, I'm often not sure of who to speak to. But let's say, for example, you have a name, and let's call that person John. So John is the decision maker. He's the recruitment director in a large organization. Unlikely I'm going to get through on the first try. However, I simply call up and say, hello, I'm trying to reach John. Is he in today? And that's the first question I ask. I'm wondering if you can help me. I'm just trying to reach John. Is he in today? And typically it's, and the first thing I want to find out is he in? Yeah. So they have to answer that question. I think so, or no, he isn't. If they say no, he isn't, I ask, when is he going to be in? And like I said before, all the sales calls go the same. So if it's he's in today, great. Is he available? Then you get the objection. Hold on. Who is this calling from the gatekeeper? Why is he calling? Are the objections. So the common objection you will hear is, can I ask who's calling? I simply say, yeah, can you tell him it's Cads, please? Thank you. Very friendly, nothing assertive about it. If you want to take the assertive approach, you can just change that up. And that's literally what I say. Yeah. The next question, you won't get put through from that. Sometimes you will, because they think, oh, it sounds like, and the key part is to sound like you've spoke to him today before, and it's a common call. They're not stupid. If you really are close with this person, chances are you're going to have his mobile number or his direct line. He would have given it to you. So in terms of who's calling, you answer just your name. And if it is the case of what's the call regarding, now that's the point where you're unlikely to get put through. Off experience from thousands of cold calls, who is calling is fine. You might get put through. If it's what's the call regarding, yeah, just to be upfront, I'm a recruiter. I'm looking to touch base with him if possible. Something like that will probably lead you nowhere. So I typically answer with a question. And I want to find out, actually, is he the right person? Have I made the right call? And I often try to gather as much information as I can. So don't just hang up and say, oh, I didn't get put through. You need to gather. Is John the right person to speak to regarding this? I offer recruitment services. Is John the best person to speak to, do you know? Or alternatively, you can ask a question regarding recruitment that the gatekeeper won't know. And they'll feel obliged not to, or to put you through regardless off of that. Now, if you say, look, I'm selling recruitment, you've just admitted you're a salesperson. Now, a lot of people say, don't tell why you're calling, don't give that sort of that information, just hang up and call back. It's fine, I'll call back later. I don't typically do that. I actually want to just be upfront and get through. Honesty, to me, is the best policy with that. Yeah. So if I've asked a question, who deals with recruitment, and they give me an answer, I've got something from that call. And that's the main goal. Yeah. If they say, look, we don't use agencies, or you get a PSO objection or whatever comes through off of that, my simple question is, what is the usual process that you onboard agencies? Or is there ever a time you don't use agencies? Don't ask the gatekeeper questions is what everyone says. I want to find out. They know what's going on. That person could have been in that business for 20 years. If you're friendly, you make them laugh, they will tell you some information. Like, I don't want to keep calling you. Say something like that. That's what I say, because they know recruiters will follow up and call back. So I say, look, I don't want to keep calling. Would it be best if I send some information across? Yeah. And I want to know if that person will be interested in dealing with me in the future or now. And just to wrap up, another way you can get around the gatekeeper is leaving a voicemail on LinkedIn. And that is quite powerful. So if you connect with them and you actually send them a voice note, actually you've had your say. You've reached them, they've heard your voice. Obviously they can't speak back, but a lot of people are receptive on that. I think that's the modern day way of leaving a voicemail. Is probably the best way I go about it as well. So getting past the gatekeeper, be a bit smart with it. Email is another way you can actually reach these people, decision makers, by actually hearing what you have to offer. It's better than calling and getting nowhere at the end of the day. So I hope this video has been somewhat helpful. I have loads of scripts that I use, in detail. I'll be happy to share them. Anyone has any questions, please let me know. And I'd love to know your thoughts on this video and getting around the gatekeeper. So till then, take care.